So guys, yes, it has been like 2 weeks since I last uploaded on this channel. I'm just going to quickly explain what happened. So a few days before the final, which was on Sunday 11th of July, obviously you probably all know that, I came down with a cold and I still have it. It's sort of turned into a cough now. So if I do sound a bit weird, that is the reason why. I came down with it and I was just like, just my luck, just before the Euro 2020 final, I become ill. So there was that. So that's why there hasn't been any uploads. So that's been super fun. But now, before the final happened, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna film a video about the final. I'm gonna talk about the whole Euro 2020 for England. I'm gonna do all that. And then the final happened, and obviously I'm gonna get into that, but there is gonna be like a 2 parts to like this video, because we need to talk about the racism that's happened. There was no way that I could just make another video without actually talking about it. I couldn't live with myself if I did that. And I feel like with this sort of platform I have on this channel, it's important for me to speak out on it. So that is basically what this video is going to be about. This is part 1, and then there's going to be a part 2 about the actual Euros final and like the journey up to it from knockout stages. I've done a group stage, which you've seen, and then we'll be talking knockout stages, which I haven't done because of reasons. Honestly, I still can't believe we're having to address this in 2021. Still can't believe that racism is still happening. I mean, obviously it's to be expected of the world we live in, but it just should not be happening. Like, racism does not belong anywhere, whether it's online, in football, or anything. It does not belong in any world. I just hope that from this sort of situation, with what happened to Saka, Rashford and Sancho, that there is change within like social media, within that society, that this, as bad as the situation is, this can lead on to something changing, because this can't keep happening. Before I do get into everything that I want to say, I just want to say that I stand with you, Sancho, I stand with you, Rashford, and I stand with you, Saka. And everything that I've been seeing is just so disgusting and vile, and I can't deal with it, and I need to talk about it. And I feel like this is a place where we could discuss it. So if we start with the Euro final, obviously I will go into more detail about the game in part 2, but for this we're just going to go straight to what the penalties was. So let's just start. So Kane went up first, scored. Maguire second, scored. Within this, Pickford saved a penalty. I think it was the second penalty Italy had. Pickford saved it. And now we're moving on to Rashford, who was the 3rd penalty taker. Okay, so yes, he hit the post. Okay, like, anyone can miss a penalty, like we saw in the semi-final. Kane had to score from the rebound because his penalty wasn't as good as it should have been, wasn't as good as he wanted it to be. So yeah, obviously the best penalty takers can miss a penalty. Like, it's not anything new. We know this, like, yes, but that does not give anyone, and I swear, like, anyone, the right to go online and send racially abusive messages to Rashford, any player, right? Okay, you are not an England fan if you think it's acceptable, or you have reasons that you think are justified to send racially abusive messages to the England players that missed just because they didn't score the penalties they had. Every England fan is going to be devastated and gutted that we lost and on penalties, but that does not give anyone the right, and I'm sorry, I'm not apologising, I'm just, you know, it's just so, I can't comprehend why anyone would feel like it's okay to send these messages because they missed a penalty. Like, at the end of the day, It's a game of football, and yes, it does mean a lot to like England fans and stuff, but racism is not the answer, okay? They don't deserve it, honestly, they just don't. I mean, they're going to feel bad enough as it is about missing the penalties, which it's literally a lottery. Like, it came, like, literally there's one penalty in it. Italy winning 3-2 on penalties. Like, Pickford saved 2 penalties. As I've said before, anyone can miss a penalty. And I can't understand the, I can't understand. And these racists are getting away with it for far too long. They can create these anonymous accounts with no face, no name, and just send these vile messages. And it has to stop. So there is 2 petitions that I could put in the description. One of them is for banning racists from football grounds for life. And the other one is to make sure that everyone is like verified and like we know who you are with social media accounts. So if you could sign those petitions, I would really appreciate it. So they'll be the first links in the description. Obviously, you can make sure you share it with your like, friends, your family, share it online, share it whenever you can, because honestly, something needs to change, and I'm hoping that this will start into making sure those changes happen. So if you could sign those petitions, then that would be awesome as well. Obviously, if you can chip in like money and stuff, it gets it out to more people. So do whatever you can with that. Honestly, this video is going to be a complete mess, I'm going to be honest. I haven't figured out exactly what I was going to say, and it's a bit of a mess, and I'm ill, and and my hair's a mess, and my voice is just croaky, and it's not a good film to film when you have a cough. But you know what, I just have to live with it, and you guys just have to deal with that. Saka is 19 years old, and he had the courage to step up and take a penalty for his national team, which I'm sure all those people out there who think it's okay for these racist messages to come and send. What were you doing at 19? Because I'm pretty sure you were not stepping up for a penalty to score for your national team in a Euro final. I'm pretty sure that's not what you were doing at 19. So I would love to know what makes you think it's okay for you to abuse a 19-year-old who clearly has more courage and more, I was going to say going for him, but I think that's a bit harsh. Actually, you know what? It's not, because you decide to sit there behind your computer, your phone screen, or whatever, behind these enormous accounts with no name, no face, to send racist messages to a kid, basically. So, yeah, I would like to know what makes you think that it's okay for you to do that, when this 19-year-old kid, literally 19-year-old, has more courage and more going for him, that he's able to, you know, step up for his country in a final. By the way, you didn't realise it's our first one in 55 years. And I'm guessing you expected us to win. Like, what makes you think that we should have won? Like, I'm not really understanding this, because a final, anything can happen. Penalties, goes to penalties, it could go either way. Like, it's not guaranteed, oh, you know, because we're England. Like, I don't understand why people think, oh, it's England, like, we should be winning. Like, we haven't won anything since 1966. So I'm just confused as to why people think, oh, we should win this. Because at the end of the day, Italy, yes, they played dirty. I will admit that they did play dirty. There was a few, I feel like there was a few controversial decisions that happened in that game. But at the end of the day, you support England, you support the squad. You can't pick and choose. You can't, when we're winning, you can't support Sterling. Like, you can't, and then automatically change when we lose. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's like you don't see colour until the decisions don't go your way. Like, come on now. I just hope that we can name and shame all those people. Obviously there was a lot more disgusting things that happened. The storming into the Wembley with no tickets, ridiculous. What else? Fighting, beating up Italians. I saw like the amount of videos I've seen of just like fights, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, this is not England. Like, this is not how England behave. Like, these people are not fans. And I would want, I'm going to quote what Harry Kane said. If you're abusing anyone on social media, you're not an England fan, and we don't want you. So I'm just going to echo that because I couldn't have said it better myself. We should be proud of the England team for getting to a final in the 55 years. First final in 55 years. First time we've ever gotten to like a Euro final. So we should be proud of the team and what they achieved. Obviously, it's gutting that we didn't actually win, and it came down to penalties at the end of the day. Penalties. Like, I just don't understand why people think, oh, we lost, and like they missed the penalties, and it's like, oh, we're gonna send them racist messages. Like, why? Like, why? It doesn't make any sense, and it's just so vile and disgusting, and it should not be happening. They're the Three Lions. They deserve our love, they deserve our respect, and they deserve to know how proud we are of them, of what they've achieved. They brought the whole nation together. These have honestly been the best few weeks of my life. Obviously, losing the final was not the greatest feeling in the world, but I didn't feel like I had to, you know, go online and send abuse just because they missed a penalty. You know, I'm not understanding, and to be honest, I don't want to understand why you would do that, because honestly, you're not human. You're not. You clearly don't have a heart. You clearly don't have a brain. You clearly don't have any human emotions to be able to do that. Racism has to stop, has to end. There's no way we can continue. You see the way the players take the knee, they're still going to do it, and I support them in doing it, because what happened after that final just shows and just proves as to what they're taking a knee. So if you're going to sit there and boo them, if you're going to sit there behind your computer screens, behind your phone screens, or whatever screens that you are using, and be racist and send abuse to these players that are doing more for this country than you are doing sitting at home, then I'm sorry, but you don't deserve to be, you don't deserve to go to football games, you don't deserve to, you're not a fan, okay? And that's literally it. So on Twitter, I changed my profile picture to a picture of Rashford, Sancho and Saka, just to show that I stand with them, and I'm going to keep it like that for a long time. I'm not going to change it for a long time, because I feel like this incident is just so sickening, and I'm just, like, I'm in shock of how much I saw, but it's like you're not surprised by it anymore, because you just know it's going to happen. So these social media people, these big companies need to do more. So please do sign us petitions, share them, give money to them if you can. Obviously, not everyone can, so if you could just share them, to try and be a bit more, to try and bring something more positive. Obviously, this part is not be positive, but obviously Rashford's mural got trashed in Manchester. But then people from that area put up like posters and like love hearts and stuff, and I saw the pictures and I was like, oh my god. And it's already been like, you know, mended, and honestly, it made me want to cry when I saw that. Just thought that is just, love will always win. Hate, it's not gonna win. There's more love in this world than hate, and there's a minority of people that just, you know, I don't even know what you're thinking, but love is always gonna win. Okay, obviously, once we, you know, name and shame these racist, make sure that they're verified so the police can know who they are, make arrest, do whatever you need to, because unless racism needs to end, and the fact that it's taken this long for these petitions, for it's taken so long for this to get momentum. Obviously this whole thing like last summer and stuff, but I feel like it needs to be continued talked about. Like, we can't. And it just sickens me that these 3 young, like, what, Rashford's 23, Sancho 21, and like Saka 19, they've had the courage to stand up for the national team, to take on a penalty, and instead of being backed and supported after that they missed, that they've had to probably see all these racist messages. It honestly, it breaks my heart that this is still happening, and and I know that they're going to be getting support from like the rest of the England squad, Gareth Southgate, and just everyone around them. I know they're going to be getting loved and support, and they'll be back. They're going to be back. They're going to be back stronger. I'm just excited to see them in the Premier League. I know, as a Tottenham fan, obviously, Saka's an Arsenal player, but I feel like with this situation, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Rivalry gets thrown out the window. And I just want to say how proud I am of the England team. They did so well to get to the final. I mean, they got somewhere where we haven't been in 55 years. So they've created history. They're making this country proud. Rashford being doing what he does off and off the pitch, on and off the pitch. And also, before I do end this video, I feel like the government they sort of led this on, didn't they? Just some of the things they were saying, like beforehand, or the players taking a knee, they sort of made people like racists think it's okay to boo them for taking a knee. And I just think that's completely wrong, and I feel like they need to apologise. There needs to be some sort of, they need to recognise what they did, apologise and make change, because I feel like they're just sort of leading it in a way, and I feel like it needs to change from the top to down. Obviously, I'm not going to go into like all of that. I'm sure you've seen it all online and stuff. I can't even remember her name who said this, but Tyrone Mings called her out on Twitter, so if you haven't seen that, check out his Twitter, and I feel like he's spot on. I'm going to leave this video here. Obviously, this was part 1. Obviously, part 2 is going to be me talking about the actual, like, the Euros, the group stage. Really the Euros journey of England, obviously the knockout stages as well, the final. But yeah, I just want to again send my love to Saka, Rashford and Sancho. You guys are 3 lions, and you've done this country so proud. And you tried, like, everyone gave everything, and you just didn't go away on that night. Obviously it's devastating, and the people are going to be gutted, and it's going to hurt for a while, but at the end of the day, you had the courage to do what other people wouldn't have been able to do, and to be able to take a penalty in that situation. I can't even imagine what kind of pressure that is. I certainly could have done it at 19. I could have done it, so hats off to you guys. And everyone else on the team, the real England fans know that you gave it everything, and whatever the outcome is or would have been, the real England fans will support you no matter what. And I just want to thank the England squad and like everyone, the backroom staff, the Gareth Southgate, like everyone involved in like the England squad, for giving me like the best few weeks of my life, because the way everyone's like been so excited, and like the national team being connected with fans again, like the World Cup in Russia, it was honestly insane. And obviously I'm not going to deny the final was stressful and it was ended in disappointment, but the immense of pride that you feel just seeing England in a final, which like loads of people wouldn't have seen, like so many people wouldn't have been alive back when we were in our like 1966 final. So to get to the final was immense. But yeah, I spent my cheek and I got an answer. I feel like there could have been loads more that I could have said. But this is going to be in part 1. Look out for part 2. I'm not entirely sure when it's going to come out. And I'm excited to like relive it all. But I just had to get this video out first because it was way too important not to. But yeah. And I'll see you guys soon with part 2. Thank you guys for watching. And I really do hope you sign those petitions. Obviously, again, top links in my description. But we need to do it together. So let's go. We're fighting this. We ain't gonna stop fighting it until things change. So let's go.